Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So thank you guys for stopping by. I don't really know what this channel is yet, and I don't really have an intro, so thanks for bearing with me and thanks for clicking on my fucking video. So I just want to put a full disclaimer out there that in no way, shape, or form does my dad ever actually beaten me or anything along those lines, so put your phone away, you don't need to call CAS. Anyways, let's bring back to the story because I promise I am not clickbaiting you when I say that my dad gave me a black eye. So let's just say that my dad is an unusual character. I mean, I love him all to death. There is no harm there. Like, you know, we have a good relationship. I love him. But he's more of a friend than a dad because my mom definitely solely basically raised me. So every time I visited him, it was purely for vacational purposes. Let's start off with maybe, I think, what would be the first incident? And I swear this is going to make you look at me differently, and I'm so reluctant to tell you this because most people don't notice until I tell them, but here I am about to tell you. So, like I said, my dad's a great guy, all-around great guy, probably doesn't have the best common sense, but a great guy all around. So I was probably 5 years old being under his care, and there's this park near his house that in the summertime like just pops up as kind of like this weird like fair thing all year round, and there's like water boats and like little train rides and like the whole little works for like a little carnival thing that's there all summer, like for like 4 months, whatever, in the summer there. So we would go every summer. Let me tell you, I lived for this little fair. Like, I lived for it. It was so fun, it was so cheap, and it was literally like a 5-minute walk from my dad's house. So we went there all the time. So this one time in particular, I was like, Dad, like, I want to go on these fucking giant slides. You know the ones where you hop in those little bean bags and you go down the slide. Well, that's what we decided that I was gonna do because I really wanted to. Well, I was a tall kid. Let me just point that out. I'm short as fuck now, but I've been 5'3" since I was about 8 years old. So, you know, I was tall in my heyday. Anyways, they let me go on this ride by myself. My dad could have went with me, but I went by myself. So I hop in my little beanbag. I'm at the top of this giant bumpy slide, and there are 2 kids next to me, 2 boys who I'm bound to beat. Like, I'm so sure. Like, my little 50-pound ass is gonna beat these 2 12-year-old kids. So I hop in there and I look side to side and I'm like, let's race. And they're like, yeah, like, let's race. I'm like, okay, sounds awesome. So I'm going down this little slide, and it's actually not little, it's fucking huge, going down this huge slide, and I turn around to see if the person behind me, like if I'm beating them, you know, like see how far they are, how close they are to catching up with me. So when I turn around, I hit a bump, and I don't know, like I lose control of my body. Like, I don't know, I'm like 5, I don't know what the fuck's happening. And I hit my face off the slide. Hit my face. And instantly, by the time that I get to the bottom of the slide, probably not even 10 seconds, my eye is black. Like, the whole thing purple, like, it's fucked. Straight fucked. So now, I can't really remember which eye. I think this eye, there's like a little bit of a lazy eye, like really look. Look at my eye. Yeah, there's a fucking lazy eye there now. Thanks, Dad. Also, because he was like afraid to tell my mom, like, cause she thought he would be mad at her for ruining her 5-year-old daughter, which she was. I had to tell her. He put me on the phone. I was 5. He said, Cheney, something to tell you. Hands me the phone to speak to my mom. A1. Okay, so story number 2. Yeah, surprising. There's more than one, like. Anyway, so another story was another time when I was in my father's care and we were at his house and he was babysitting me when my mom was at work or something, and we both were taking a nap. I think I was around the same age, probably like 5 or 6. So I was in my room and he was on the couch. We were both taking naps. Perfect for him. I woke up early from my nap while he was still out cold on the couch. So guess what any normal 5 to 6-year-old kid would do when they wake up before their parents? Go and play with their Barbies, go and play with their toys. But I've always been interested in beauty, and you know, I just wanted to give all my Barbies haircuts. So I went to the kitchen, I climbed up on a chair, and I took out some scissors, and I decided that I was gonna give all my Barbies haircuts. So there I am cutting all my Barbies hair, and finally I run out of Barbies, and I'm like, the fuck, like I'm not done, like I'm still a hairdresser right now, like I want to give more haircuts, you know? Well, I gave myself a haircut. I bet you could guess. I bet you guessed that one. So instead of cutting my actual hair, I just decided to cut my bangs, because for my entire childhood until I was probably like 10 years old, I had like these like thick front bangs. So my bangs hit like right here above like the eyebrow where like normally bangs do. I cut them up to here. Yeah, this short. I will insert a photo if I can find one somewhere of this era with me with short bangs. Anyway, so we're all jig-jagged and all fucked up, and I didn't even care. I thought they looked awesome. So great. So then when I'm done cutting my hair, I'm like kind of over it, and I just like start playing with something else, and finally my dad wakes up and he comes out and he sees me and he's like, what the hell happened? And he was freaking out. Not because I looked like a damn hot mess, but because, once again, he was afraid that my mother would yell at him. Which she did. Is this surprising? It's not surprising me. And also, Katie, she needs something to tell you. Hands me the phone to tell my mom. Alright, so the third and probably not final story, because I've gotten hurt lots of times. Let's just say it's not all my father's fault. I definitely am a little clumsy person, which I mean, I guess I could get from him because, like, you know, genetics, like, you know, he's clumsy, I'm clumsy. But the final story that I'm going to tell you about today is this bad boy. Can you see it? Can you see it? Can you see it now? If not, you'll see it one day. You'll notice that I have a fucking scar in the middle of my head. Alright? So this is when I was younger and I was living with my mom and her boyfriend, and my dad came down to visit us because my dad doesn't live in Canada. And he came down to visit us, so I was in his care because he was visiting us, and we were just out all day hanging out, having a grand old time. I got a brand new bike. I was riding it everywhere, showing that shit off. Like, it was pink, it had the streamers at the side, fucking little bell. Like, I was popping on that shit, okay? So I loved it. So I lived in an apartment building at this time with my family, and me and my dad, we just take the elevator up, I'm on the bike, and as soon as we get to our level, I'm like, Dad, I'm gonna race you, like, I'm gonna win. And he's like, yeah, okay, like, I'll run, and I'll run, you know, we'll have a fucking race. So we have this race, and I'm riding my bike, and let me tell you that my apartment is the very last one on the left, so I have to ride all the way to the end to get to my door so I can beat him. So, similarly to the first story, I look behind me to see if I'm beating him. And he doesn't say anything. He's just cheering me on. And I, full face, run into the end of the wall. Like, the hallway is straight, okay? Obviously, like, a hallway straight. And it ends at a wall, and my face, I just go right into it, and I fall off my bike. I think I, like, dent the fucking handlebars or something, hit my face off the top of it. My dad doesn't say like, my dad's like laughing. My dad's laughing his ass off because he thinks it's funny. I'm crying, and then he gets really freaked out because, like, he thinks that, like, he realizes I'm not laughing, and then he looks, and my face is, like, bleeding from right here, and my nose is all bleeding, and Katie, Shane has something to tell you. And I have to tell my mom. I think I was probably like 7 or 8 at this. No, I was probably like 6 or 7 because I was in grade 1 or senior kindergarten or something like that. But still. So thank you for tuning into my video for today about the times that I reluctantly harmed myself while in my father's care. Because, you know, stand up guy, stand up guy. Once again, I love my dad so much, so don't think that this is me bashing him. He just always doesn't have the best judgment. He's definitely like a friend to me. More than a parent, I would say, but all love around and everything like that. So no hate for sure. Guys, thank you guys so much for watching my video, and if you have any ideas about anything you want me to do in the future, I kind of am doing like story times. I also can maybe do beauty stuff. I don't know. Who fucking knows? But like, I can do anything you guys want me to do. I can try it out. I'm never afraid to try. Also, don't forget to subscribe and make sure you follow all my other socials below. I love you guys so much, and thank you so much for tuning in.